Caernarfon is a small town on the North Wales coast, close to Snowdonia National Park, with on the gateway to the mountains, if you like. It's a very popular tourist location. We've got a wonderful castle, lots of lovely scenery and wonderful people, and it's a wonderful community. Noddfa Community Church, we're based in the Peblig area of Caernarfon, which is in the top part of the town, on the outskirts really, just before you leave the town heading out to Wenfawr and Bedd Gelert. And it's classed in Wales as an area of multiple deprivation, which means that the statistics show that there's more people unemployed, less people with education and skills, more people might have health issues, more people might have economic deprivation, but I always feel what statistics fail to give you is the nature of a community. It's a very close-knit community. The work here in Noddfa was started in the 1950s as a mission, but then unfortunately towards the mid-70s, as was seen across, well, the UK, numbers started declining, congregations getting smaller, so the church had to sell the building to the local council for £1, but on the condition that the church was allowed to worship here on Sundays and still had an office, which we still have today. But then in the 1980s there was a new wave of new mission work and new ways of doing church, and since then the mission work has grown and it's changed at times, but at the moment we have 2 full-time workers here working.
I think the role of the church in this area is to be a church in the community, a church with the people, to know the families, to be a part of their daily life, to laugh with them, to cry with them, to celebrate with them, and just to be a part of family life. One of our monthly activities here is the te bach, which means the small tea, and it's tea for the community and the families to come together and enjoy a piece of cake, a chat and a cup of tea, and it just brings people together, and it's time for people to relax and bring stories, and just to have fun together really.
We have an open door policy where people can call in for help with benefits issues, disability benefit appeals. Many people recently with debt issues. We can help with housing benefits and rent and housing. It's a wide variety of situations that the church can walk alongside people, and sometimes people just want somewhere to share a problem and have somebody to listen. And to do that in the name of the church, in the name of Jesus, we think is very important.
Being born and bred here on the estate and this building being my church when I was growing up, I can say that this church is still at the heart of the community here. It takes several years really to reach a point where families in areas such as the Peblig area trust workers and know what the church is about. And it's a project here that's been running for many years. Myself and Mererid have been here for about 10 years, but the mission work here has been going on for about 60 years. So it's not a project that has been set up and then disappears. It's a project that's been based on years of mission here on the estate with families and generations who still come to church.
I like to go to Sunday school because I like to talk about God.
What I like to do on Sunday school is do crafts.
The food in the church is nice, and he knows us nice cakes.
I like singing on Sunday school.
The important thing when you look at mission and the context is to be aware that everybody's context is different. So what works here in Noddfa will not work in other places. We are very fortunate here that we have full-time workers, but also we're very fortunate that we have a band of volunteers, and lots of people give their time and energy to support Llynos and myself in the work.
One of our visions here really is to be a church in the community, and that means moving on with times and adjusting to suit daily life of today. And that appeals to families today. They seem to respond respond well to trying different things, and we try to engage young families and ask families to come along to enjoy, but also we don't tend to burden families with the responsibility of leading any of our activities. Young families are very busy, and there's a lot of demand on young families. So we like to open the doors so they can come and freely enjoy. So we tend to try new things and encourage young families to come along to those activities. For us as a church, it's important for us to be a family, and families stick together. And I think as a church we have a strong voice in the community, and it's important for churches to stand up for injustices, and that could be globally but also locally. And it's nice here that people know they can turn to the church, and that we're here to be a voice for them, and we're here to be a listening ear, and that we are kind and accepting, and it doesn't matter who they are or what their circumstances are, really.
The message of the gospel is a message of hope, and it's positive, something we want to share, not to keep to ourselves. So that's what drives us on, really.
If you have a few committed people that are willing to come together to pray for different activities and to try new things, God will work in mysterious ways. And even if it's a small group, and even if you reach a couple of people here and there, it's worth it. And we see activities here that bring 10s, 20s of people, and sometimes our activities are a small group. Try. There's nothing better than a church that tries.